They were also talking about some wastewater dump, the Universal Waste Management System, or basically the space toilet on the Orion spacecraft, typically dumps that wastewater every day overboard. It's vented overboard, much like what happened during the space shuttle era. And we're currently about 2 days, 4 hours, and 51 minutes into the Artemis II mission. The Orion spacecraft carrying the 4 crew members who you currently see on your screen are about 134,000 miles away from Earth, and they have about 137,000 miles between them and the moon.
Jackie, for the EMERCOM DFTO, I am ready for your go in instruction 76. I understand we might be pausing to address this issue. And regarding the smell, I just wanted to be sure you all were tracking the EGS notes of the kind of burning heater smell that was coming from toilet several times. It was never identified as the source, what it exactly was, but it was identified as a known smell. So that's one reason why when I smelled it earlier, I didn't report it. It was kind of a lighter odor than this time, though.
Copy all, Christina, and yeah, we'll discuss at least for a few minutes here before we continue on with the EMERCOM DFTO. And yep, we are getting the information about the pre-flight smell now, so thanks. Hey, we just wanted to follow up on 2 items. One is related to the hygiene bay odor that you reported earlier. The ground teams do believe it may be related to the orange gasket material around the hygiene bay door. So perhaps it's related to, open and closes of the door or, different operational situations there. But you're welcome to continue to call down your observations and changes in the odor strength or frequency. But overall, we don't have any major concerns. I'm sure some folks will continue to talk about it, but I just wanted to kind of close that topic out.
Okay, we got both of those, and just about the orange insulation around the door of the hygiene bay, we're pretty convinced that's not what we smelled today.
All right, thanks for that data. And Jeremy, just since we're talking about it a little bit, if you want to give us one final set of observations on that smell for today, we would take it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what else we can tell you, Jackie. It was described before as when you turn on, before we flew, what we might expect is when you turn on a heater that's been sitting for a while and you feel that sort of burnt, or you smell that burnt smell that comes from that. And I do think it smelled similar to that. For me, it was, some sort of burning odor. And then it was definitely in the hygiene bay, and when I opened up the hygiene bay, the rest of the crew could smell it pretty much immediately.
We copy, Jeremy, and is that...
Yeah, 2 things out there.
Yeah, we're curious if it is still persisting, and we'll take your 2 things.
That one on the delay. Sorry about that, Jackie. I think 2 things to add from my perspective. Number one, we had a similar smell on flight day 1 when Christina first fired up the toilet, and then we haven't had that at all since. And then this was a more acute moment of this compared to flight day 1. Similar, but definitely more acute.
Okay, we copy, and is it still actively have that odor today, or has it dissipated?
It's been used since, and there was no odor the next time.
Houston copies, that helps, thanks.
Okay, Thanks, Jackie. And window 2 photos are complete. But feel free to leave the Earth in the windows.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've been pretty exploratory in our attitudes today, and we're going to have to head back to something more standard. Let us know if you have anything else to report just on timeline status or things we need to know overnight. Otherwise, that's all we had for you.
Now, the map that you see on your screen right now is what we're calling the 2D view, or the world map for this Artemis mission. The top part of your screen that you are seeing, you can see Earth on the left side of your screen, and you can see the flight path that remains for the Artemis II mission. And just as we cited earlier today and last night and on our social media channels, Orion is about halfway, or just over halfway, to the moon right now. While they're not in the lunar sphere of influence just yet, we are getting closer and closer to the moon. On the top right side of your screen, you're able to see a couple of distance markers in nautical miles that can tell us the Earth altitude of Orion, how close we are or how close we'll get at the Apollo distance record, how much distance we have remaining, and also the Orion to moon altitude. And on the bottom of your screen, you're actually seeing a great world map. And this map may look a little bit familiar. It's very similar to what we have for the International Space Station. But as you know, we are not using the Near Space Network with our tracking data and relay satellite system, or TDRS. We're using the Deep Space Network for this mission because we are in deep space now. And there you see the coverage map. Just a couple of things to point out. The white line that you kind of see going across the center of the screen, you can see Orion there on the left side, where the Pacific Ocean and off the coast of Western South America. You can also see over Europe, MAD, that's the Madrid DSN satellite. And then on the bottom right, you can see Canberra in Australia. So you can see the different coverage networks, and each of the colors corresponds to the colors that you're seeing on this map. So this is a great vantage point or visualization that we have. It's fairly simple, but it gives a lot of data to the team here on the ground, and it's actually on our board here in Mission Control.